Support WrestleTalk!
It is time for our Elimination Chamber Toronto predictions. I am Luke Owen, DAD. This is Oliver Davis. Welcome to WrestleTalk. Please do press subscribe, give us a little thumbs up, leave a comment down below with what you thought or what you think is going to happen at Elimination Chamber Toronto. Are you excited for the show?
I am. I will just have to say you did just say subscribe.
I actually struggle to say the word subscribe.
Yes.
Regardless of where I'm at in a sentence, it is the one word I think I struggle with the most to say, which is hilarious considering the job that I have.
But yeah, Toronto. Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I really want to see Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. For me, that's like, it's suddenly become the best feud in the company. I'm curious about the men's chamber because the Rockers just come in and gone, bleh. And now we've got to figure out what Rock wants to do. Mm-hmm. And then the women's chamber, I'm actually quite intrigued in after the go-home tag team title change angle on Raw. And also, Trish is there.
Yeah.
She's from Toronto.
She's from the area.
From Canada.
She's from Toronto, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Are you excited about the show?
My excitement levels were up here since Friday. Way up here.
Yeah, but what kind of excitement is that?
I'm so excited now. Like this whole Rock thing.
Car crash excited?
No, I genuinely like it. This is giving me like the excitement levels that I had going into last year's WrestleMania, where I was like, I don't know what direction they're gonna go in on these things. There's like, I could see them going over here, I could see them going over here, I could see them doing none of it, and it never gets brought up again.
I think that's the big thing that people overlook in Triple H's booking. He's really logical. He's long term. He thinks things out. It is a bit boring because it's amazing. You get these emotional moments that pay off years of storyline and character development. But at the same time, you can, once you hit Royal Rumble season or maybe even Survivor Series, you're like, okay, well, it's probably these three guys will have a match together and these two. And then it's, so you need a bit of chaos. And The Rock comes in now on an annual schedule and just goes, deal with it. I'm in one of the main matches now.
Here's some excitement. Yeah. And here's some wildness for the show. Because I think you're right. Like, there was that WrestleVotes report just after Survivor Series. It was like, if you think that WWE programming has been boring as of late, it's by design because they've got loads of exciting shows coming up. And I'm now looking at the end of March being like, but where are they?
It's NXT. This is exactly what Triple H used to book down in Black and Gold era NXT. Yeah. Great takeovers, a couple of really good moments there, but the week-to-week TV was pretty standard.
Yeah,
of a decent quality, but standard.
Every now and again, you'd get like the Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain for the tag team titles and something like that. But for the majority of time, it was just a totally fine 1 hour weekly show, which it was my favorite show to watch because it was just lovely.
Just a plug before we get into the predictions of the matches. Wrestle League. Go over to WrestleTalk.com/Wrestle League where you can compete in all of the predictions against us and literally thousands of other players.
Yes, I thought I was having a pretty good WrestleMania. In fact, actually, I had a pretty good Royal Rumble. I got everything but the men's Rumble right. Oh, no, and I got the tag match wrong, so I thought the Guns were going to win the belts. So it was sort of
half
of the matches,
yeah.
But I did have my Joker pick on Cody Rhodes. So it did give me an extra bonus points for all those idiots that thought that Kevin Owens was going to win the title 2 months before WrestleMania. You high. But yeah, let's talk about the Elimination Chamber. We've got 4 matches on this show, and that is because there is a special 5th match for Cody Rhodes' soul. So we have got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned match.
I don't know which. I mean, there is the Randy Orton direction of Kevin Owens. I think to get there, Orton costs Owens the match here, building the Mania match. Go, Sami Zayn wins.
I'm going to go with Kevin Owens to win here. I can see 3 different ways of doing this. I see 3 different outcomes. One of which is what you said, is that Randy Orton shows up and costs Kevin Owens the match. I see one option, which is that Kevin Owens wins and Randy Orton attacks him afterwards. And then my third one is Randy's not at WrestleMania this year. because Sean Rossap was saying on the Fightful post show, reviewing Raw, that while they would like Randy Orton to be at WrestleMania this year, there's no guarantee that he's going to be at WrestleMania this year.
Well, that's Randy's decision.
Could be. It depends on what sort of contract he's got, I guess.
But it's WrestleMania.
Yeah, but Randy Orton cares. He's done a fair share of WrestleManias at this point.
But he's also been telling a year-long story with Kevin Owens. Kind of.
Well, I think he has. I actually think option B is the one that I'm going with, which is that Orton attacks Owens afterwards. If Sami Zayn is going to go into a match with Karrion Kross at WrestleMania, Sami needs to lose here to give that story more substance. Unless,
because the whole story is Sami is going to these darker places, he can't even recognize himself anymore. He took Kevin Owens' mum out for dinner. Those are the sort of dark places Sami Zayn's going to. He had a nice conversation with Kevin Owens' mum. The scumbag.
The mum bag.
The mum bag. I think Sami could go too far and Karrion Kross would be like, yeesh.
It's interesting. I think it's actually not a bad way of looking at it. So I like that.
I'm going to go for Sami. It also creates a bit of fun tension and bragging rights amongst the boys.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kevin Owens on this one. Let's do one of the chambers. Let's do the women's chamber first for the Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania 41, the winner of which will face either Rhea Ripley or Io Sky, most likely Rhea Ripley. It is Liv Morgan versus Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss versus Bayley versus Naomi versus Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, I went first last time, so after you.
I think this is between one of two people. And really, I think it's between one of one people. So initially, I had been saying that I thought this was going to be someone on the Raw side of things because the SmackDown side is covered with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. So that rules out Alexa Bliss and it rules out Naomi.
Bianca.
Well, I did think it rules out Bianca, but I've actually got her as my only person I could see possibly winning this. Because I think you're going to do Roxanne and Bayley because they're feuding, so maybe they'll have a singles match at Mania or maybe a singles match down the line. So that rules out Bayley and Roxanne Perez. And it's not going to be Liv Morgan because I don't think they're going to do Liv versus Rhea again at WrestleMania. So that only
sure about that?
So that only leaves Bianca Belair. So I think it's Bianca Belair.
Oh, right, I see. You're going Bianca Belair. But there's a... See, I go through those names. May I?
Please go for it.
I go Liv Morgan. She's a tag champ now with Raquel Rodriguez. So I'm just going to say she's going to be doing tag champy stuff.
Against Damage Control, probably.
I think it'll be a fun story in the chamber that she's a tag champion, that Naomi and Belair are now going for her. She hasn't got Raquel to back her up. I think that'll be a fun chamber story, but I don't think it means she wins the belt. Bianca and Naomi, I think, especially now they've remembered that they were telling this storyline, are going to be involved in some way with Jade Cargill.
You think Jade's going to be all right? Because that's what we don't know, is it? We don't know if Jade's well enough in order to do a WrestleMania match.
Look, you're coming in here with a lot of Jade might be injured. Randy might not want to do WrestleMania.
We don't know.
This sounds like every year's diversion from this is fake news.
I'm not saying it's
fake misinformation.
I'm not saying it's fake news and or misinformation because that's not an official report by Sean Rossap that Randy's not going. What he's saying is I have not heard that Randy Orton is going to be at WrestleMania this year. So I don't know. That's why I was asking. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. The thing with Jade's been training at the Performance Center for 2 months, which makes me think that she probably is going to be fine for WrestleMania.
So I'm going to say Cargill is fine. I think it's always been a work. Or maybe it was like a little injury and it was realized that it wasn't as bad as it was. So Belair, Naomi, I'm removing for them. Alexa Bliss, I don't think she comes back and goes straight into this level of title program. Remove her as well. Unless you do Bliss with the Wyatt Six going up against Rhea Ripley.
They're on SmackDown.
So it's Mania season.
Well, what was the point of moving her across to SmackDown then?
Exactly. There is no point. Why are Grayson Waller and Austin Theory on Raw now?
Well, they got drafted to Raw during the Superstar shakeup.
Yeah, but why?
Because they got handpicked by Adam Pearce.
They will appear on an episode of SmackDown within 2 weeks.
Who?
Austin Theory and Grayson
I'm
Waller.
not taking that bet. That's quite likely to happen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This brand split is very informal. So who have we got left? Bayley. I don't see Bayley Rhea Ripley happening at WrestleMania. So all I'm left with is Roxanne Perez.
Who was my pick at 3 counts? I was like, it's the shock winner.
She was the Iron Maiden in the Rumble. She was the runner-up of the Rumble. She's now in the Chamber. She could win the Chamber. She could face Ripley at Mania. That's huge. It'd be a face versus face match. Perez has sort of been a tweener face kind of character.
Which means you could really lean her more into the heelish side of things.
I'd prefer that. I'm going Roxanne Perez. Oh, we're different on both matches.
I think it's because it was my initial pick. But I did say a lot of mine was down to whether or not Belair and Naomi dropped the tag belts before WrestleMania. And they now have.
Frees them up.
Which frees them up, which means that I think Bianca versus Rhea is a really big match that they could do at WrestleMania.
Bianca, Rhea, Jade Cargill added. 3-way.
I think that muddies it. And also, I think Jade being added to the match after Bianca Belair had to win the Elimination Chamber kind of devalues the Elimination Chamber stipulation.
I don't see where the argument against is, again.
In a tag team match, we have Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus taking on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Well, it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
It's a bit of
It's
fun.
a bit of Canadian fun.
It's a bit of 11 minutes of TV time. Lovely.
I didn't actually hear Trish's name when this was read out to me. I was like, what? Why is this not on SmackDown? This has dark match written all over. Then I realized Trish was in the match. Makes perfect sense. Yeah. I am going to say it's a Trish and Tiffany win. This could either lead to a Chelsea Green interference that sets up Trish versus Chelsea Green for WrestleMania.
Oh,
that's my pitch.
Here's my bigger pitch. Tiff and Trish win, and then we go to an advertisement break.
Oh, what are we advertising here?
Dude wipes.
WWE shop, dude wipes.
Dude wipes, with that match being over, it's going straight to dude wipes.
A Roman Reigns video package that I've seen 10 times already.
But that's only if you're not watching on Peacock.
Yeah.
If you're watching on Netflix, you get to see that. If you're watching Peacocks, it's advert time, baby. I think this is just a tag match that gets Trish on the show. I don't think this leads to anything else.
I think it'll be a bit of fun, though.
Yeah, I think it will be a bit of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. In a Cody Soul on a pole match, what's your prediction for Cody and The Rock?
Well, he's not going to take it, is he?
Some people say.
I mean, to be honest, I don't even know what he's taking.
His soul.
So this would be Cody joining the corporate Rock faction.
Yes. Well, it's less of a faction, more of just a case of you're going to turn heel.
Yeah. You will be my in-ring avatar, and we will screw over all the baby faces together.
You will represent TKO.
Yeah.
As the champion, even though you already do represent TKO.
And also, Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Oh, yeah. He's got to get that checked out.
I think Cody says no.
I think Cody says no. Also, and I suppose that ties into the men's chamber.
Yep.
Because, I mean, the fantasy booking here is that Rock will then side with whoever's going against Cody, because Rock will be backing that person to be his corporate champion. I do. Sorry to cut you off. Didn't cut you off, but you were about to speak. Your mouth was hovering.
You know me so well.
Because you got to talk about this on the SmackDown review. I haven't been able to yet. It is a mess, right?
It's awesome, though.
It's a mess. However, the bits that I can figure out from it are genius.
Yeah.
The idea that the People's Champion has now become this corporate overlord, the final boss, which is distinctly different from the final boss he was last year.
Yeah.
And also like the Mr. McMahon, Austin comparisons. To tell Cody to become his champion, not the People's Champion. And the Rock being a corporate champion in the past. I think it's really inspired.
Yeah.
It's right there in front of us, and I never saw it. So I'm very happy with that direction, if it's one they are actually going to or ever have the chance to go down.
Here's my pitch. And I was going to say this because we're recording this before we do the Raw podcast. So I'm going to give you my broad strokes of it here, but I might go into more detail of it on yesterday's show. I am picking CM Punk to win this match. But he is not going to be the corporate guy.
Punk isn't going to be the corporate guy.
No. This is going to lead to Cody versus Punk in the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania Night 2 until someone feels like it is my last WrestleMania and I should be inserted into the main event, and the way to do that is to sell my soul to the TKO brand. And John Cena will be going into that match not as a heel, but as the corporate-picked guy to be The Rock's champion, going into a world title match in his last WrestleMania, having not won a match in 3 years. And he doesn't win it there either, and then he goes on the redemption arc being like, I've taken the wrong way of getting this belt.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So John Cena wins the Chamber.
No, CM Punk wins.
Sorry, your pick is CM Punk.
Yeah, and John Cena politics his way in the same way that he politicked his way into this match, because it's best for business that he is in the main event of WrestleMania. So he inserted himself into the Elimination Chamber.
It's big brain.
Thanks, man.
That's huge. You've got all the stuff there with Rock and Cena from before, and now they've joined forces. I love all of that. But then I just struggle to see Cena for the next 8 months or so telling that redemption story. I don't think anyone's really going to seriously boo him. I don't think there'll even be a flirtation with a heel turn this year. No,
I don't think so either. I don't think we're going to get like... corporate Cena is very different to heel Cena in my books.
I chose this guy for the Rumble as well. I'm going to choose the same guy, CM Punk, as the winner of the Rumble. Sorry, Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
But I will not put Cena in. I will have Punk join forces with The Rock instead.
Nice.
And something about Paul Heyman's favor.
Oh, yeah, that was the thing.
I don't know how that ties into it, but Heyman's a wise man for the whole bloodline, technically. So he could be advising Rock.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, this doesn't feel like it's a bloodline thing anymore. This feels like it's a TKO corporate thing now.
They're scrambling to tie all these loose ends they've got from the last 5 months.
And the Rolex.
Goosebumps. I think the idea of Punk, who's obsessed with getting that WrestleMania main event, who came back and said that he's not here to make friends, he's here for business, and then his promo for the go home of the Rumble was with Cody, where he was like, hey, you're a friend, but I'm going to stab you in the front. Yeah, do I think it's going to happen? No. But do I love the idea so much that I'm going to make it my bet? Yes! CM Punk to win the Chamber and Mania and be a great heel champion for a whole year, and then he'll have a match with The Rock at WrestleMania 42.
What? Rock?
I'm just gonna put it all out there.
Next year's WrestleMania 42 is headlined by CM Punk versus The Rock for the WWE Championship.
Which, of course, and it's called Punk Rock. It's called the Punk Rock Mania.
It's Punk Rock 3.
And Punk wins that as well. He becomes the first champion to win Money in the Bank, which means he gets to choose who his opponent is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm being objective and not getting carried away in my fandom here. But it's just one guy's opinion.
All right, last thing. Do you see a Roman Reigns appearance on this show? Haven't seen him since the Rumble. Just too hurt.
So he was last time we saw him, he was scuffling with Punk and Seth.
Mostly with Seth.
There's also The Rock. There's also Cody. There's also Fatu, who's not on this show. I feel like we've moved past Solo.
Yeah, I think it's Solo Jacob at Mania at this point.
I don't see him on the show.
On this show.
No.
Yeah, you see him at WrestleMania, though.
We see him in a handful of Raws. Yeah.
I think this Rock thing, I'm going to go with my big brain thing, it moves Punk out of the triple threats, so it just becomes Roman versus Seth in a one-on-one match.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Which would be good. Weird to see Roman Reigns in what feels like quite a mid-card, just like in the middle of the show.
Sometimes that's what happens when you never show up for one.
Or maybe he opens up night 2. Maybe that's the opening match for night 2. But anyway, there it is. Those are our predictions. You can join Wrestle League and predict against us by signing up for Wrestle League. Use the link in the video description down below. And we will be back this coming Sunday with a review of Elimination Chamber Toronto, the fallout of both of the Chamber matches, and the fallout of Cody's soul on a pole. We're going to have all of that here on this podcast set, so join us there live. We will see you then. Enjoy the Elimination Chamber. Leave a comment down below with what you think is going to happen on this show. I've been Luke Owen, DAD. That has been Ollie Davis. Jam that jam.